Welcome, friends. This is a short video about the news that is going on. Meta will begin laying off employees on Wednesday morning. You must have seen this news in the media. I think this was first published in Indian Express. Then, after that, many newspapers have covered this. And I was just going through this uh, short news, and then basically you can read this. Ultimately, there are three or four significant points that is to be noted. First of all, the company is saying that the disappointing earning and reduced revenue, that you all know that. Then they need to slash the expenses, and for the reduction in workforce, almost 10% of the total workforce, which is more than 87,000, they are saying that will be reduced. And the main problem is degrowth in advertising revenue. And of course, it is the problem is more intensified in terms of this metaverse push. So all these things are written in this message. You can read it, and nothing else is written. So I was just thinking, let us analyze this situation from a analyst point of view. So what I have done is I have downloaded their income statement from the investor website, and mm, I thought that let us first analyze the situation, what is going on, and whether the workforce reduction decision is in line with what is shown in the analysis. And so for that, first of all, we will just convert these figures into percentages. You see, these are not calculations, these are just directly copied from the website, and therefore only numbers. So I will just convert this into percentages. So percentage of revenue. So in this way, I will divide this and express this in terms of percentages, and then I will replicate this for all the rows and for this also, and will copy. So these are the percentage figures. These cost figures are in percentage of revenue. So you can clearly see that from the June 30 ending to September 30 ending. So what is the increase? Increase in cost of revenue is from 18% to 21%. What is cost of revenue? It is basically the cost of goods sold, but in this case, in this company, there is no goods as such. So it is basically the cost of rendering the service itself. So that has increased from 18% to 21%. Then research and development has increased from 30 to 33%, and then marketing has also increased from 12% to 14%. And general and administrative expenses, that has increased from 10% to 12%. And let me tell you one thing, that your salaries and wages, all these comes under this general and administrative expenses. So basically they are trying to cut cost from this particular head. So they are targeting this general and administrative expense by reducing the workforce. So now let us replicate these numbers once again, because these are numbers. Now I will try to replicate them using these percentage figures. So please don't think much. I am not repeating this. I am just repeating it to analyze. So this one, and then this, into the percentage figures. Will be exactly the same. Then the sum of this is the total cost. This is the total cost, and this is the operating profit. And by the way, I have taken this up to operating profit only. That means not the net profit. That is not very useful for our analysis. So these are the operating profits that is coming. and now you see it has reduced from 8358 million to 5664 million in this quarter. So that is the major concern, and obviously the administrative expense had increased from 2987 to 3384. So that is the biggest concern. That is why they were reducing the workforce. That is fine. But let us see one thing. You see here, this is the revenue. This is the revenue stream. And if you just ignore the last figure, almost in every year this was increasing. Like, only thing is from December to March it has reduced, then again increased, then this time it has reduced. And this is the percentage of cost. Now, one thing I was just trying to convey here, that this research and development, earlier it was like close to 20% or 22%. Now suddenly in these last 3 quarters it is 28%, 33%, and 30% and 33%. And you know the reason why it is so, because they are investing in this metaverse thing, and as a result so many cost is incurred in terms of research and development, but the effect is not clearly visible in terms of revenue. That is again a known fact, because this is a long term project, and immediately nothing will happen. No improvement will be observed in terms of revenue, and that is what is happening. Revenue is reducing due to the reduction of advertising and sales. Advertising revenue, that is reducing here. But and at the same time they are investing in research and development, and therefore it is not paying off in short term in terms of revenue, and so the profitability is reducing day by day. Now suppose I change these figures. Suppose there was no research and development in terms of metaverse, and the percentage of research and development was merely around 22% only. Suppose this was 22%. Yeah, I just change this manually. So let us see what happens. So you can clearly see that the revenue has increased here. So earlier it was 5664. Just by changing this to 22%, the revenue is 8737. So now what we will see, what we will say, we will say clearly that it is due to the expenses that was incurred in research and development, and not due to this increase in wages or whatever. Actually we even don't know whether which percent of this general and administrative expenses is only wages. There are many other expenses inside this. So my analysis says here that the reason for reduced profitability is increased R&D, but no improvement in revenue correspondingly. And this is the main reason for profitability reduction. But it is very difficult to address this type of scenario. Like, everybody knows that inside the company, outside the company, everyone knows that this is the main reason for profitability decrease. But it is very difficult to address the same, because it is a big investment, and it is going to happen. Like, in case of metaverse also, if you invest today, it will take at least 2 to 5 years to just rip out the benefit and get this benefit in terms of revenue. So what the company is doing is short term measure. So basically they are reducing the manpower. And by the way, when I am recording this video and uploading it, the news has again come, and the company is saying that it will sack around 11,000 people. So can you imagine this? 11,000 people, they will lose their job, and that's how it is. And The reflection is already found in your share market share chart. You can see here, this is the weekly chart of Meta. And if you go to the daily chart, so this is the daily chart. You can see here in 26th October, there is a sharp decline in share price, and this is due to this news only. I don't think any other possibility is there. This is due to the reduction in profitability and the uh, disclosure of the financial data. And then also this price is falling like anything. And if you just see the weekly chart, this is the weekly chart. You see, this was a major support here. So this one I am talking about, like in this region there was a major support that is also broken furiously, and there is no other support here. Very minute supports are there, so I we don't know where it will end. So that is the thing so far. So I just wanted to share this knowledge with you, and just my calculation and analysis very briefly. So thank you for watching this video.